Welcome everyone, and so today we are diving deep into the Power Ladder Chapter 3 as we continue on this journey of the athlete. And so this chapter is all about one core, which is your body. Your body is your first and your most powerful asset, and how you look to build and maintain it that determines everything. And so this is part of the process on how we understand performance and long-term success. And so we're going to dive right into it today with some of the things we have on our agenda. And so we'll look at some things like physical dominance that matters, master or mastery over your own body, business power through conditioning, Cristiano Ronaldo and some key takeaways, a final challenge for you, and then of course leave some room for Q&A. And so let's get right into it. Physical condition and why physical condition matters. And so I'm just going to touch on some points in the slide and then give you some notes. So at the elite level, everyone is talented. Everybody around and that level, whether it's male or female, are talented. But what is the difference between them? Well, number one would be their training. Number one would be their durability. And of course, the next thing would be their longevity. And so conditioning really impacts performance and longevity. The athlete who lasts the longest wins more, earns more, and actually builds real power. They also outshine and outlast competitors that are in their realm. And all part of that, or part of what they do, is a strategy. And so longevity creates leverage in sports and in business. And so why is that important for us? Before I touch on the next slide, let's just touch on this. Conditioning is so important when it comes to a lot of things. And so it's not about your performance just today, it's about your performance tomorrow and about your performance in future. What does that do? What does that help? It helps you stay at the top longer. It helps you reduce injuries, but it also helps you maintain consistency, because short-term wins are good. We all love a short-term win, but long-term dominance is where the real power lives. And so I'll just touch on a few slides of when I was an athlete or a footballer, absolutely loving what I do. This is a picture of a new club that I had signed for, and I've played for many clubs, and my playing number was number 10. I was the ball playing person of the team, and I remember this day so clearly. I had signed for a new team thinking I was just going to go in, do some paperwork, and away for training sessions. And the club, who had known my history, when I got there, I had of course done the paperwork, done some photos, and they were like, "We want you to play today. Today's the day we want to see you perform." And I remember I had to get kitted up into my black number 10 sweater, got my kit on, and what a performance it was. We took that team out about 3-1 on that day, which was a brilliant team at the time that we had played against. And that comes with reputation, but also how I was maintaining and looking after my body to be ready for the moment, to be ready in the moment to play when it was needed. Another picture we have on the screen was me or our team at nationals, women's nationals, and this was during a warm-up session, leading from the front, absolutely focused on the task that we had in front of us, but also loving what I do. And as you can see, all of us as females in the team, well looked after as players, but also looking after our body for the task or for the game that we had, or games, that we had in front of us, because we had won the SASA League, which happens in the Western Cape Town, and we went over to nationals and we performed like crazy. We lost no games and went on to the final, and lo and behold, we had won the nationals. A team from Cape Town went up and we had won, and this is me celebrating the day of our victory. And what a joyous moment it was, and I will cherish this moment forever, because it reminded me of where we were headed as a club, but also the performance that we had put in and how we had prepared as athletes and as players. And so what does that tell us? Conditioning equals long-term dominance. Let's touch on this. And so how do we master over our body, or how do we understand conditioning? Conditioning is about staying at the top, okay? And how do we build, or how do we master our body in moments like this? The first qualification is for power in history. The second is the strongest and most resilient become the leaders. And modern athletes who master their body also control the game. And so historically, power has always started with a physical capability. The strongest, the most resilient individuals became the leaders. And so let's look on the next thing. Very important. How do we understand or see business through conditioning? Now, let's connect the business. Better conditioning leads to what? Let's look at it. Longer careers, bigger contracts, more endorsements, and a greater brand value. The opportunities that come with business, or having business power through conditioning, is so huge, so huge, because your body isn't just a physical, it is a business asset. And so with that said, career equals, or career longevity equals an advantage. And how do we look at that? Let's look at Cristiano Ronaldo. He has played for many clubs, and he has outperformed many people. And so he currently plays at Al Nassr, and he is breaking records, and still continuing to do so. He performs at an elite level in his late 30s, which he currently is. Late 30s, yes. He has a massive investment in his recovery and condition, and how he looks after himself. But also, he built one of the most valuable brands in sport. And so, what is his secret? He treats his body like a high performance business. And so that is what we have on the next slide, just understanding a player that understands the bigger picture in sport. And so what can we take away in today's lesson? Control your body, which means you will be able to control your career. Outlast competitors to gain leverage, which is also a massive income in investment in recovery and conditioning. So train for longevity, not just for performance, and build power beyond the game. And so I have one final challenge for you. Your body is your first asset, okay? Conditioning is, let me just change my slide here. Conditioning is your first advantage. And are you training to survive or dominate? Okay, very, very important. And so if you have some questions, please drop it in the comment section, and I would love to answer any questions that you have. And so most importantly, where do we get this information from, and where can we find this information? So we currently have a book out called The Power Ladder Athlete. This has changed so much for me. I have read this book, and this book has had such a major impact on my life. And so I encourage you to, in the description below, click on the book description and grab a copy for you. It's going to change your life like it has changed mine, and I would love to have a conversation after that. And so here we are into the Power Ladder chapter 3. Stay tuned, coming soon, the Power Ladder chapter 4.